really pleased with that one. I think we did a really good job. Good job. We should do more claps in the future, I think.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Alrighty then. You know
what?
This is not getting off the way the start I expected it to.
For the 647th time, we're doing this thing.
What are we doing? I don't know what you mean.
I don't know.
What do you? Yeah.
Oh, is that the gamer? Is that the gamer?
What?
Is that the gamer gremlin?
No, you know that your camera doesn't focus.
Oh,
things like
no,
right?
I absolutely know it doesn't focus. But no, that's a Lego.
Or Lego. Okay.
No, my gamer gremlin is around here somewhere.
I've got to get rid of my Lego Dimensions stuff. It's still sitting around here somewhere.
Send them to me. I'll give them a good
I
home.
need to get rid of them for money.
Oh no! Oh, send them to me.
Okay.
Again, I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I will take them
for free.
I'll tell you what.
It'll only cost you postage.
There's here. Hang on. Let me send you a link. We'll do a trade. Okay.
A trade.
So I'll send you this stuff.
What
go ahead and grab me one of these.
And
send it back.
Interesting trades accepted.
Let's see. Robo Tech SDF1 Macross diorama vacuum tube digital sound system.
Oh my.
Price USD 1950. Deposit USD $640.
So $19.50.
Oh damn.
That thing is gorgeous. When you get a chance, I mean, why would you ever buy one? But when you get a chance, just look at the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm looking at the pictures. It's
look at the close-up versions of the pictures.
1,200th scale. Length 1.1 meter tall. Well, that's not length, that's height. Length and height are different things.
But do you know what a 1.1 meters is?
1.1 meters is a little over 3 feet.
That sounds about right. Probably close to 4 feet.
Let's see.
So it's nearly as tall as you.
Meter to feet. Let me see. 3.6 feet.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. We split the difference and we were there.
We were both almost as right.
Yep. So look at that. Hey, look at that though. I was relatively close.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad for a dumb American with our backwards measurement system.
To be fair, you were a teacher. I feel like you had to run across that kind of conversion at one point in your life.
You know what? Well, I mean, I was a teacher for like 2 years.
That's 2 years. And I mean, it's not like you just fell into that job. You had to go, get educated to be a teacher.
Yeah, but I mean, I taught elementary school.
Was it mail order?
I went through like elementary school education. I took like children's literature classes.
You're
like
the Joe Pesci.
It wasn't like, third grade. We don't do a lot of metric system stuff here.
That's the problem
here in the United States. Why would we waste our time? We don't use that system of measurement.
That's also a problem.
Well, that may be, but
that's the whole reason your country's in the state it's in right now.
I didn't teach the kids Latin either.
You know who else?
We don't use that
system for distance measurement.
God,
the UK,
the Lord,
and
Jesus
look at
Christ.
that country right now.
The sweet Lord Jesus Christ. Easter's coming up. Get ready for his birthday.
Get him America.
Get him a metric
sweet
system.
Zombie Jesus.
Zombie Jesus.
Yeah. Somebody unfollowed me on Twitter because I said that one.
Did you really?
1 year on Easter.
I remember, and I know you should have started the show by now, but I remember being so surprised at EGM when Mark, I'm calling him out, Mark had written something. He wrote a great review. I think it was a SOCOM review.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where it was in the voice of a drill sergeant. It was clearly it's supposed to be in the voice of Arlie Ermy, basically.
Right.
But it was all in text. And every now and then he would go and he'd ask his trainees something, and they would say an answer, and he'd be like, "Well, I'll be goddamned," or "I'll be," and we got so much really angry mail about that.
Oh, really?
And I was shocked. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up going to church, and don't take the Lord's name in vain. Yeah, sure, we all know that. But I also grew up around people that took the Lord's name in vain constantly. It wasn't. Nobody would bat an eyelash. It wasn't a thing.
Right,
and
sure.
and then to get the hate mail that we got, it's like if we had just thrown in F-bombs, I don't think we would have gotten as much hate mail.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I learned a lesson from that.
Where's EGM today?
True.
So
Mark McDonald.
there you go.
Destroy your Phil
There you
destroyed. What did you destroy? Game Now and Nintendo Power.
No, Steve Thomason destroyed Nintendo Power.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Wow.
I don't know. See, there's doesn't seem to be a common denominator there, except for you.
Two people can destroy magazines. I mean, Mark clearly destroyed EGM with his blasphemy.
Well, no, I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is he's only destroyed half the number of magazines you have.
Well, get up to my level. Maybe. I see.
Have you ever used that phrase before?
What's that?
Get up to my level?
No, I've never had an opportunity to.
Yes, I thought so.
No, it's a shame.
And Bob's your uncle.
It's a
Robert,
shame.
your father's brother.
It's a shame that Tetris affected so good because Mark could have been the guy to kill Tetris, which
That's
would have
true.
been
Wow.
that would have been more
beat out
impressive
you.
than me killing Nintendo
Yes.
Power. Is the guy who killed Tetris, but
Yeah.
Mark and his goddamned talent.
Oh, see, now we're gonna get
The callback.
hate mails.
It's not. No, it's a callback.
Are we starting the show? Are we doing this?
I thought we started the show like 10 minutes ago.
I think we're ready for tweets.
This is all gold, CJ. This
Not gold. This is the pre-show.
Oh, this is for
This is
is
the
for
free
$10 patrons.
oh
pre-show.
wow.
That's right.
How many people are watching on YouTube? We will build them.
I can't tell anymore. They removed that little stat from my little control panel. Now I don't know.
I see 11 watching now.
Okay,
so
well,
Yeah, it says 11 watching now. Boy,
you
that's
jerks owe
embarrassing.
us $10.
Well, I mean that all that blasphemy probably chased away like 30 people.
Yeah, that's true.
you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna, you know what?
All
I'm
right,
gonna
we
say
ready?
this.
What's that?
That follower, that person who unfollowed CJ for the sweet zombie Jesus.
Yeah.
It probably was not for the blasphemy. It was probably for the hacky joke that everyone makes.
That everyone makes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Fair,
Zombie
that's fair.
Fair.
Zombie Jesus is the Easter equivalent of Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Which I agree with. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
obviously.
it's that thing that everyone has to
That
say,
thing.
and everyone thinks they're real clever because they think they're the first one to think of it.
That's right.
Have you heard about this Bowser guy that Nintendo's got working for him these
Oh,
days?
Stop it.
That's-
Stop it.
Hello and welcome to episode 647 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
God damn.
It's a double
April.
callback.
It's April already.
Double callback. Yeah, it is. 4 months into the year. How about that?
How time works. Trade a whole
Indeed. That
Right
is
on
how time
line.
works.
looping
That's
around
right.
on the calendar every year.
That's true. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
We missed April Fool's Day by one day.
Thank God.
Who
Well,
cares?
yes, we did. Yeah.
Now hold on, Greg. What is it? Are we thanking God or were we damning God?
No, well, I don't know.
What? Pick
back
a
and forth.
side. Pick a side.
No,
Jeez.
I wasn't damning God. I was asking God
Oh.
to damn something. That's
Okay.
There you go.
Well, before you pick your side, Greg, keep in mind we are fast approaching episode 666. So
We are. We're
the devil.
you gonna do anything special for that episode?
no.
I'm gonna
Gonna
do
do
what
what
we
we
always
do.
a lot of
slaughter a
bad
goat
jokes from Phil.
right here, right here on the YouTube.
All right. Well, hey, we should get into some news because we got kind of a lot of it. A lot of things happened.
A lot of
in the
stuff
past
happened this week.
I understand Google's got some. They're stepping into the video console.
No,
ring.
that was last week.
Oh, it
That
was okay,
last week. But speaking of last week, we forgot we didn't talk about Cadence of Hyrule, the Crypt of the Necrodancer / Zelda mashup
Did we
game.
forget it?
We forgot it.
Okay.
So yeah, Nintendo loaning out their IP to an indie developer for a new game, and you can play as Princess Zelda in this particular title. Looks pretty cool.
Not a series
Gotta
first.
admit.
There's been a few games where you can play as Zelda.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like a bunch of the Smash Brothers games. You got the
That's what I mean.
Spirit Tracks. Was that the one?
Did you play
Tracks?
Zelda in Spirit Tracks?
No, Spirit Tracks. She was dead.
Which
She was a ghost.
Couldn't you play as her as in one of those games?
I don't recall.
Or
I honestly didn't play the.
I might actually be
precursor to that.
misremembering. I might be.
None of them. Yeah, I haven't finished all of the portable Zeldas.
Zelda. I find Zelda's not really. That's not big enough as a series for me to play every game.
2 CDI games let you play
it's
as
not
Zelda?
big enough.
Oh man.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this is a sort of rhythm-based roguelike game.
So have you guys played Crypt of the Necro Dancer?
No.
Just the regular game?
No, I've heard it's great, but no.
Yeah,
I still haven't. I bought it it was $2.99 on sale on PSN.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I picked it up, and I have yet to boot it up.
Okay. I want to, because I think it's like $20 on Switch right now, and I see it on sales, because I would like to play it on Switch.
$2.99 on PS4.
Yeah, I know, but I want to play it on Switch.
And it's cross-buy with Vita.
I have no idea. You know what?
That's hilarious.
I've been in Seattle for we're approaching 2 years right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea where my Vita is. I have not seen my Vita since I packed it up in the Bay Area.
Oh my gosh.
And they loaded it on a truck. I have no idea. You know what? The movers may have stolen it for all I know. Which I guess shows how much
they just. To be fair,
Yeah.
the insane volume of useless shit that you own.
Yeah.
There's also probably a pretty high % chance that you just haven't found it yet.
No, there's that.
Possible.
That's also very true. But you know how often in those 2 years I've said to myself, geez, I really need to dig around and find my Vita.
Yeah. Oh no, listen, I'm with you.
Zero.
Yeah. Precisely zero.
Yes. If my PSP wasn't like, I grabbed one of those rose-colored gaming stands for my PSP, so it's on the shelf right now. If I didn't have it on that shelf right now, I probably would not know where it is.
Yeah.
So this game also Spike Chunsoft is involved in it as well, and the art looks really great.
Chunsoft is what I'm naming my next kid.
And the chiptune music that they have in the trailer is quite good. Of course, it's like some remix to Zelda tunes, but sounds great. So
it'll be interesting. Have we ever heard like the Zelda music in like kind of chiptune form? I'm just excited about the game just for that. You know, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward.
Can we play as Winona Ryder in it? Callback.
Who? By the way, we need to. Who mocked up that cover? Someone on Twitter.
Someone on Twitter mocked up
a cover of a Lucas video game. This is
for PlayStation 1,
for PS1, and I noticed, and this was what really impressed me about it. It was a PAL game.
Yes,
it was like
nice touch,
which makes it even more believable because Europe gets weird games sometimes that we do not get, and weird like there was
hacker alias Real Brian B.
Awesome.
Yes.
Amazing job. Real Brian B.
Truly.
Because I think there was like a PS2 Beverly Hills Cop game that came out.
You're right.
In Europe.
Yes.
So they get weird license stuff
that.
occasionally. So a PS1 Lucas game
could be a thing.
Maybe. You know what? Maybe he didn't even Photoshop that. Maybe
it's
that was
possible.
Maybe that is legit. I don't know.
But I went back and watched the trailer for that movie.
For Lucas?
For Lucas, yeah. When I was doing the show notes for last week, and I was like, God, this looks like a horrible
I honestly
movie.
didn't even know what movie we were talking about. I've never
really?
heard of that movie.
You guys have never seen it?
Corey
Did you ever
Haim,
see it?
Charlie Sheen.
No.
Winona Ryder,
Carrie
In her-
Green from
Carrie Green.
Goonies is in it.
Andy from the Goonies. Yep.
Andy.
The beautiful Carrie Green. Thank you. Who didn't? What kid in the 80s didn't have a crush on Andy from the
I
Goonies?
didn't have a crush
That's-
on Andy.
What?
No.
Okay.
I was too busy crushing on Marty's mom.
No.
Oh, well,
Leah
duh.
Thompson?
Who didn't do
I mean,
that too?
that's the given.
Yeah.
We all know.
Okay, so that one goes without saying. Okay.
Obviously.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
criminy. Leah Thompson?
Oh,
Jeez.
God.
Yeah. Oof, forget it. Holy.
Anyway,
This is turning into a different show.
let's
I'll be
snap out of it.
You just take a
I'll
minute.
be-
Just take a minute.
I'll be back in like minute 15.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah.
Did you see this gameplay teaser for Streets of Rage 4?
No, I did not. I've been meaning to watch that.
Okay.
So
Well, now I can't
are we
get your
happy?
reaction
Are we
on it.
sad? Are we?
Phil, have you seen this? Have you seen
Hey,
it?
Nobody cares what
Hey,
you think about Street
Phil.
Rage, Phil.
Phil, have you seen it?
No, I
Did you
hadn't
watch-
actually. No.
I figured not.
No, I actually did. Of course I did. I very much
Okay.
did.
Yeah, what'd you think? What's your thought? What are your thoughts?
I cautiously optimistic.
Looks too flash gamey.
It does look kind of flash gamey,
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
I can see that. That's kind of what I was expecting.
but
Because some of the darker scenes I wanted, I don't know, more vibrancy in them. I mean, I think there's a
Okay.
way to do dark environments in a flash game that doesn't make them look overly washed out.
well,
which
I
think these do.
mean, is it? It's probably not a flash game.
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
No. No.
let's be fair.
No,
We're
it's not.
yeah, but I'm hoping it's good. I
I'm
want
hoping
it to
it's
be
good too.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
it's good because you know what was not good.
What?
You know what was not good was that Double Dragon 4.
Yeah,
Did you play Double
that was
Dragon
rough.
4?
Yeah, I played a little bit of that.
Yeah, it was
wasn't good.
pretty crap.
Yeah,
So I really hope Sega is
that
a
the
little
same-
more hands-on.
was that the same developer?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I
So
don't
the
think so.
people, the developers behind this are
Oh.
the ones who did Dragon's Trap remake,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
which
which
for
is
some reason
great.
I'm blanking on.
Which is
Lizard
Lizard
Cube.
Cube.
Lizard Cube, thank you.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why. I mean, you know, I haven't watched. When I say Flash, like that's kind of what I've heard from other people, and
Yeah.
it kind of when you look at even the stills, it kind of looks that way. But I am totally giving them the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
because Dragon's Trap was fantastic.
Dragon
So,
Trap was wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
So-
collaboration too with a team that I think even did like a side-scrolling beat 'em up recently.
oh really?
yeah.
If I remember correctly. Yeah.
So
But anyway, looks
hoping it's great.
cool.
I'm hoping it's great.
I hope it's great. Yeah. Yacht Club Games. Don't know if you
Another
saw this.
great-
Is publishing. Yeah,
group.
publishing a new game called Cyber Shadow.
Yep.
And this is a game that looks to combine a lot of like really classic NES titles.
Yeah.
And it's a new game done in NES style, so very much up Yacht Club Games' alley.
Okay.
And there's a trailer online. They announced it. This has been in development for like over 5 years. This one guy just working on the game himself, and Yacht Club Games is helping him bring it to other platforms and helping him finish it up. So that's fantastic. Comes out this spring. It's gonna be $15 on Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So I'm
Looking forward
excited
to
about that. It looks good. Looks really
Nice.
good. Yeah. And if you have not seen the trailer, do yourself a favor. Go do that because it looks awesome. All right. So let's get into some of the bigger announcements from last week. So Apple Arcade got announced. This is Apple's subscription game service for mobile that is bringing what would be premium games, so games without microtransactions, to mobile players that want to play them as part of a service. So you'll pay one price per month. That was not specified yet, so we don't yet know how much it's going to be. But they announced a bunch of different titles for this, including Overland from Finji, and Hot Lava from Clay, Oceanhorn 2. We got a lot of developers and publishers that you probably know by name, like SMG Studios. Okay, maybe you guys don't know.
I
them.
don't
Us
know
two,
who
us
that
two
is.
games. So us two games did.
You worked in iOS and mobile development, so you know these.
Okay.
Nobody else knows these people.
Okay, fine.
Is Capcom doing games? I know them.
Capcom, no. Konami is doing a Frogger game
Oh,
on
great.
this. Yeah.
EA?
And way forward. Way
Way
forward.
Forward,
You know,
I-
way
Way
forward.
forward, I've heard of them.
They're doing
Yeah.
a Shantae game.
Shantae 5 is part of Apple Arcade.
Yeah, it's also part of like coming to like systems that I actually want to play games on.
It's coming to everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? When I want to play a great 2D platformer like the Shantae series,
Yeah.
no buttons.
You run to
man.
your iPhone.
No buttons at all.
But
Yeah.
so the Sonic Racing game that's coming out in the fall, I guess, on mobile, it's going to be part of Apple Arcade. So that's good.
Okay.
So some big names there.
I gotta say, I mean that's good. It's good if you're somebody who spends a lot of money on premium games for your iPhone, I guess.
Who honestly spends a lot
I
of
don't
money,
know.
quote unquote, a lot of money on premium iOS games? I don't think too many
I
people
don't know.
do.
Nobody I
Anymore.
know, but that doesn't mean they don't exist, I guess.
That's the thing.
I like Zelda's biggest fan in the chat just said it too. I'm kind of getting fatigued by all these different subscription services that are happening all like,
Yeah.
like and
I
I,
agree.
mean, you know, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like it's funny because for so long, so many of us have like been cutting the cord when it comes to cable,
Right.
because of things like Netflix and also just downloading movies that we wanted to watch. But in general, you know, like because you have different services, but now it's like, my God, it's probably still not as expensive as having cable, but oh my God, everybody's got a friggin' streaming service now. And now all the game companies are starting to do the same thing. It's like EA, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Apple, Google.
Real quick.
When's
Real quick.
Ubisoft going to have
I wanna-
theirs?
Ubisoft will.
I want to
I'm
ask
sure they
you two
will.
a question.
What?
CJ, let's do you first. How many subscription services,
God.
movies, TVs, and games are
Uh-huh.
you subscribed to at the moment?
Music.
And music? Yeah, music. How many are you
Hmm.
subscribed to?
Probably. I don't know.
You don't know. Greg, do you know
it's-
how many you are?
It's probably more than 6.
Yeah.
I subscribe to Netflix,
Uh-huh.
Prime Video, but that's from my Prime account.
Right.
Okay.
But
Still counts.
I'll count that.
Yeah. No, you have to.
Spotify.
Yeah.
And then Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, and Nintendo Online. So 7
Yeah.
services right
Yeah.
now.
What do I have? Netflix. I have Hulu.
Me too. Yeah.
I have Amazon Prime.
Same.
I have Apple Music.
Same.
I have I have Xbox Game Pass, but that was gifted to me, so I'll have to count that.
Sure. Yeah.
The Nintendo one, certainly. Is that
PlayStation? Do you play PlayStation Plus?
I'm not in.
Are you counting PlayStation Now or Plus?
I would say
I'm counting.
now.
I'm counting things like live and like the things that you have to pay in order to be
Okay.
online with your
Yeah, okay.
console.
Yeah,
And those
well,
are
I am-
subscriptions.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Xbox. I think am I
Live
signed up for Xbox Gold? I think I'm up for Gold. I certainly am PS Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a PS Now subscription.
No, no.
I'm gonna sign up for the Disney one.
Well, that's
Oh,
it. Like
right.
Disney Plus is
Yeah.
on the way, and I mean the content they're going to have on there. I don't like. I was thinking, I don't need that, and then it's like, man, my kids are
Well-
going to watch the hell out of this, and
Yeah.
so will I, considering
Well,
everything that they own now.
Well, they're
And then
gonna have they're
so
gonna have
Apple's
those-
event where they put out Apple Arcade, they announced Apple Arcade as one service, and then they also announced Apple TV Plus. That's another service that's
Right.
going to
Apple
also
TV
have a fee.
Apple TV Plus.
They're going to have original programming, so they announced like
Right.
more than a half dozen shows. For this new streaming service. So Apple's going to have their own. That's going to be another fee, and then they announced a news service as well. So Apple, the event last week was all about services. Honestly, I thought every part of it, but the game part of it was completely boring. And I like when they were announcing the TV services or the TV shows, they had the actors and creators of the shows on stage describing their TV show. They didn't show trailers, which I was like, what even is this presentation? So I turned it off and did something else instead.
Jeez.
So yeah, but Apple Arcade looks interesting. I wouldn't pay more than $10 a month for it, if that. Like,
oh my god, I wouldn't even pay that. Considering I spend maybe $10 a year on premium apps.
Yeah, I mean, the games that they showed look really cool. They did vignettes on some of the developers, like the Saltzmans who are doing Overland, and then the Where Cards Fall team, which is a great looking project. But I don't know if I would.
Is there a level of
pay for
exclusivity that they're asking
on
of developers?
So these are exclusive to iPhone on for mobile, and then they have to be cross-platform. So they have to play on iOS, iPad, Apple TV, and the Mac as well.
What I was getting at,
and
was
Apple is kicking in money, obviously.
Yeah,
for the development of these projects.
That's what I was getting at was are they exclusive across everything? Like, does it preclude them from showing them on say Switch?
No, because Overland was just in that Indies Direct a week ago.
Right. So see, I mean, as long as that's still happening, I don't know that I.
And then Shantae 5 again announced for other systems too. So, yeah. I don't know.
I
mean,
it's
good. It's good for developers. I don't know. Like, I'll have to see what the price on it is. I might try it. I don't know. And apparently,
developers, like, that's the other thing I'm really curious about with these services.
What's that?
I mean, I guess it's good for developers from the standpoint of Apple will kick in money too.
Yeah, but so a couple news outlets did some stories on the pricing model or what developers would get. Apparently, there's some talk that Apple's system developers get paid based on how many people play and like how long people play.
That sounds
the games. Honestly, yeah, that sounds terrible because then
the worst.
You're gonna have developers that are making games. Yeah,
sorry,
so
if I created a game that people bounce off of, I would much rather they pay me $5 up front.
Yeah, well, the other question is whether these games will be available standalone for a separate price outside of Apple Arcade.
I mean, doesn't the idea of you get paid more based on how much people play these games, don't you think that's going to lead to a lot of like just kind of unnecessary grindy crap in games?
That's my fear as well. Yeah, that would be my fear as well.
Yeah. You're not going to get like a nice, tight, like story-driven game or anything like that because once someone is finished with it, they're finished with it. So,
but I guess it depends also. I mean, these games are coming, if they're coming to other platforms, they still have a way to make money elsewhere, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Seems like a bad idea, but what do I know?
Interesting to watch how all this goes down and how much Apple pushes it. So many people are used to playing free games on mobile that
that's exactly it.
Like maybe if they packaged Apple Arcade up with Apple Music and Apple TV Plus, and you were paying like $20 a month or whatever it is,
right?
For that, then sure, I'll add that on, kind of like the Amazon Prime. We all said we had Prime Video because we have Amazon Prime, right? So we'll see. I hope I hope it's not any more than $10 a month to play these, because
that's the thing too, is that it's funny because we're sitting here saying that like you're saying $10 a month and I'm saying I probably spend $10 a year on mobile games. It's kind of
but the idea is these games would be premium.
CJ's just gonna
the idea is that these games would be premium experiences that aren't going to ask you for money or like.
Okay. No. I'm not. I wasn't going down that route at all.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, speaking as someone, like, we've all been in development. You and I, CJ, both done mobile development.
Yeah.
And we know how much making these premium games costs. Isn't it so sad that even we are conditioned to be like, I'm not giving them more than $10 a month.
I know,
You know,
but I know you're exactly right. But
Uh,
I'm looking at this through a consumer lens. Like everything
No,
on the show that we
absolutely.
do, I look through it
Yeah.
with the consumer lens and think, would I, as a consumer, pay more than $10 for this? No,
Nope.
just based on how often I and what I play on mobile. No, sorry to say.
yeah.
All right. Well, we had another event on.
You know, real quick, the
What?
thing from that Apple event, you know what got it actually more so than the gaming thing, you know what got me really excited? Was that wireless charging. That looks
Yeah.
great. The
Wireless
ability.
charging.
Yeah. You're gonna be able to like wirelessly charge your
No, they canceled that thing.
your AirPods and
They
stuff like
canceled.
that.
They canceled the AirPower thing. They canceled.
No,
that.
I don't know because they talked about it at the show. I mean, the new AirPods. It's got it pictured right on the back of the box. So
Right.
pretty great.
No, they canceled it. Funny thing about that, Apple rarely, if ever, like cancels products that they already announced.
Yeah.
They canceled AirPower, and not only that, but the wireless AirPods box
Yeah.
for the wireless case
Right.
has a picture of AirPower on it.
That's
as
weird
a
because that's exactly what I said like 5 seconds ago. That's crazy.
No, a picture on the
No, he
box
did
for the.
mention
That's what I
No,
just said.
that's not what you said.
I said there's a on the AirPod.
All
box.
right.
Anyway,
Let's
who
move
cares?
on. CJ,
Who
CJ
cares?
edits this. CJ edits this, so you said whatever he says you
I
said.
guess so.
Exactly. I just edited
I guess
that out.
you know what? 13 people on YouTube know what happened. Tell my story. 13
Tell my
YouTube
story.
watchers.
Don't let the world forget me.
Aside from that Apple event on Monday, there was
Yeah.
also a little PlayStation live stream
Oh,
on Monday, the State
Yeah.
of Play
Yeah.
thing, and this was last week we got sort of a Nintendo Direct-ish video presentations from both Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
And Sony's came out first on Monday, and it focused pretty heavily on PlayStation VR games. And I kind of wish that they had said that up front, so that people's expectations would have just been set. You know, oftentimes when Nintendo does a direct, they will say what it focuses on, so that
Right.
expectations are set. And Sony did not say that it's going to be like a PlayStation VR centric presentation, which is fine.
Right.
But it was a lot of PlayStation VR, kicked off by Iron Man VR
Yes.
for PSVR, which actually looks really great and is being developed by Camouflage, who did.
You can't remember the name of their game.
It's Ryan Payton's studio. I can't remember the
game
name.
did they make?
What was that thing on mobile?
I don't know. I don't know.
The only reason I'm not telling you what it was is I can't remember it either. But
I can't remember it either.
It just looked like an on-rail shooter, though.
that's all it's going to be.
I mean,
I mean, of course.
I mean, I don't. I
I'm
mean,
okay with that.
the little setup for it was neat, you know. And then you burst out of the plane.
Republic.
There you go.
There it is.
That's what I was
Finally.
going to say.
And then you just kind of moving your little target around to little just generic looking orb robot probes. It just looked kind of boring.
Well, it depends how much it is, and
You
I
look
don't know.
kind of boring. How about that?
I'm just saying, it looked like a really basic.
That's all it's going to be.
What that? I mean,
Have you played a lot of VR stuff lately?
yeah. Have you played VR games?
Especially superhero VR games?
I mean, it's like just looked like a boring version of like Starblade. It's like
Okay.
I feel like
Starblade.
that's an oxymoron, but
I mean, it was just like here's just blank sky, and here's a little robot orb, and then boop, I shot it.
I mean, I feel like you know what this game is. It's people who want to be Iron Man,
Yeah.
strap on a VR headset, and
doing a
this
very
gives
specific thing.
this gives you
I'll tell you what, the thing I love most about seeing Iron Man in action in all those great films is how he just stands there and shoots at orbs. Where's supervillains? Where's flying through cities? Why?
maybe
you
that
know?
stuff's there and they
Yeah.
didn't show it in the like 30
This was
second
just
trailer.
the first announcement.
Well,
for
I mean,
this
yeah,
thing. I
well,
mean,
yeah,
come on, man.
makes
I mean,
sense
you
because
see, I think the difference here is that what you
Yeah.
want is like movie trailers from the 70s where they literally summarize the entire movie in the trailer.
Or maybe I actually want to see something interesting in a video game trailer that would make me
That's
want to play the
crazy.
game.
That's crazy.
That does
You're not
sound a
even
little
if you're
weird.
not even going to take the conversation seriously,
I mean,
what's the point?
I guess you're right. I didn't want to see anything exciting looking.
There you go. Well, then mission accomplished.
Blue sky, gray orb. Look at it pop.
Well, then maybe No Man's Sky getting full PlayStation VR support will be better for you.
I can't bring myself every time they show an update to No Man's Sky. It's like that looks really interesting. I can't bring myself to try it.
Yeah.
And this is a free update, so if you have the game, and I know you do, or maybe you sold it back.
Sure, I do.
Then you would have that game, and it's the full game. It's not a VR mode, it's the whole game in VR. So
That sounds vomit inducing.
it probably is, yeah. But anyway, yeah. And they did a montage trailer with a bunch of games that are out in the next few months. And we're getting a Five Nights at Freddy's VR game.
Okay.
Yeah. So that looks
Have any,
good.
of us, have any of us ever played Five Nights at
I
Freddy's?
have never, because I find the character designs to be horrifying.
Can we talk about the fact that little kids love Five Nights at Freddy's?
Oh yeah.
That seems completely wrong to me.
And they have toys.
I find that upsetting.
Why is that?
Yeah.
I just,
It's like scary stuff.
Like Goosebumps.
Like the first time I went into like an Goosebumps is that really at the level of Five Nights at Freddy's?
No.
Is it
Probably.
are the characters as grotesque as
Well, what was there? There were scary books and crap. What was there? There was a series of books like scary stories to read in the dark or something.
Yeah, but I was just saying,
like
I remember the first time I went into an EB, and with I think my son was like 5 at the time, maybe 6 at the time, and it's just like, not only was he drawn to the Five Nights characters,
right,
but he knew all about the game. He knew, like, it just surprised me. It just didn't feel like that's something my 5-year-old should know about, like, or not know about, but be super familiar with. I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, the game plays like Night Trap.
Yeah, I mean, they're children's games. They're they're not like. I'm assuming they're not. I because I haven't played them, but I don't think there's gore or anything like that. It's from what it's jump scares.
They're all stuffed animals. They're all like animatronic.
Like jump scares. Yeah, here's a creepy looking
beyond
robot.
jump scares though, because the character designs are more things that would like induce nightmares in children.
Yeah, kids love that crap though.
Maybe your kids love that crap.
Kids love it. Man, you didn't watch scary movies when you were a kid?
I'm not talking about me as a kid. I'm talking about my kids. I'm not saying my parents did a good job. I'm saying I'm trying to do a good job.
There you go.
No, I'm not saying that they I'm just saying it was I mean, I haven't put a stop to it, so obviously it doesn't bother me that much, but it just was kind of surprising to me the first time I realized, like, why do you know all about why can you speak at length about this game?
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like that's a game that you've experienced, or I don't know.
It's Goosebumps level stuff, man.
It is,
It's all it is. It looks.
But I also find it horrifying.
Yeah.
By the way, we're getting CTR Nitro Fueled, the remake of Crash Team Racing.
Can I say that doesn't look very good?
Well, the trailer they showed is the low poly PS1 remake racers.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't look good.
You didn't like it? Okay.
I didn't like the look of it.
Okay. Yeah, they look boxy. Yeah. And we got a trailer for Days Gone. All right. And some Mortal Kombat 11 stuff. So.
Okay.
Time I hear the title of Days Gone, I think about that song that was in all those ads. Days Go By. It's the first thing that pops into my head.
Okay.
Do you remember that song?
No, but I watched.
I'll find it up at the end.
Game Informer did a thing last year where they played the first hour of it, and this game's
not for you.
Not for me.
What if it was on Switch?
Still not for me. But hey, PSVR owners, there's a lot of interesting content coming for your headset, so that's great. Then we got an ID at Xbox Game Pass presentation on Tuesday that had a bunch of indie games coming to Game Pass, including Killer Queen Black,
Okay.
Outer Wilds, Blazing Chrome, and we got Void Bastards, Operencia, Stolen Sun. We all know that one. The Good Life, Supermarket Shriek, and After Party in their presentation. So all of these looked really interesting. Looked pretty cool and are coming to Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass.
All right.
They all looked really good, actually. I really liked that video. It was just sort of nice and short and like, here's a bunch of cool stuff and moving on.
Yeah, as somebody who's watched a bunch of Inside Xbox those presentations, those are very long, and this was a nice change of pace from that for sure. Very Nintendo Direct like, very short and to the point, and showed a lot of really interesting games that are coming to Game Pass, and yeah, it was great. I want to see more stuff like this from Microsoft. I think that'd be awesome. Anyway, let's talk about this one.
What's that?
The Wall Street Journal.
Wait, now did you just skip over the most exciting?
You totally did.
PlayStation VR game.
What did I skip over?
We talked about that boring ass Iron Man game.
We did.
Well, let's be fair. You talked about that boring ass. CJ and I were ready to move on. You were the one who kept talking about it.
The game looks like snooze fest, but
what game did we miss?
Prove me wrong.
What game did we miss?
The hot new Sega franchise reborn in VR.
Oh, Space Channel 5. It was in was it in the montage?
Space Channel 5 VR, kinda funky news flash.
Yeah.
Coming to PSVR sometime.
The real question.
We don't know when.
Real question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it still starring Space Michael?
I'm assuming no.
They found him
because
of all the controversy. You know, there's that new documentary. He's in the news again. Far too controversial. They are removing Space Michael from the game. Instead, they wanted a new celebrity endorsement.
Here we go.
They decided to get someone who is perhaps even more fitting to the scene than Michael Jackson. What's great about this guy is this is Space Channel 5, right? Takes place in outer space. This guy has space right in his name. So he's got that cool futuristic vibe. Did you ever see Usual Suspects?
Oh God. Oh God.
Because
oh no.
Space Kevin Spacey?
Space Kevin Spacey. He's and he doesn't have all that baggage that Space Michael would have.
Space Spacey.
So, I think they're obviously pretty excited about that get.
Oh Lord. So. I mean, he hasn't been in video games before. He was in that Call of Duty game. Right?
That's true.
Was he really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, no, but I'm super hyped.
He's familiar with motion capture techniques.
I don't even know.
What?
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? All right, let's talk.
Space Michael out. Space Cosby is in.
Space Cosby.
Lord.
All right. We gotta get the Melodorians, the choo-choo and the space up and down. Doodle.
Let's talk about this Wall Street Journal report.
You know what? I'm not gonna. No, you know
one more.
Yeah, this is. You know what? This is something weird about Space Channel 5 VR, but it's not a bit. This is not a gag. This is a genuine thing.
Mm-hmm.
On the and you can check this out for yourself. It's a real thing on the PlayStation blog. So the developer of Space Channel 5 is a company called Grounding Inc.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you go to the PlayStation blog, there's a little interview with Tatoko Sakuma, who is the global coordinator at Grounding Inc., and talking about the game and everything. So apparently they want to record some new dialogue for the game.
Yeah.
And this is the really weird thing, because they're talking about, the soundtrack and the voice actors. And then it says here, and I quote, "Want to do a big favor for Team Grounding? We've been looking for Apollo Smile."
I was going to say,
The
Right.
voice actor who made Ooh La La special from the very beginning.
Yeah.
She may have retired, but if anyone knows anything about Apollo Smile, please email us at, and then they give their email address.
That's great. I hope they find her.
How weird is that, though? What?
how did we lose her?
How in this modern day, how do you lose
I don't
a
know.
person like that?
I don't
How
know.
how does someone at Sega not have Apollo Smile's email
To be
address?
fair, Apollo Smile is not on LinkedIn.
Oh,
You just
did you
checked?
type it-
I just
you typed in Apollo Smile.
Apollo Smile.
And what a weird forum to like put out the call. Hey, PlayStation blog readers, if you're reading this one post, and anyone out there know where she is? Anyone room with her? If you see her at a grocery store, send up a flare. We need to find
It's
Apollo.
interesting.
Well, that
I
was
think
her thing,
Her
'cause she
Wikipedia
appeared-
entry kind of ends in 2006.
Really?
She
Yeah.
appeared at various anime conventions, and her whole shtick was that she was the live action anime girl.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I just thought that what an odd thing for your video game development. To
I don't think it's that odd, but okay.
it's a little odd.
A little odd, I guess.
You never see anyone like, anyone know where Troy Baker is? We're trying to put together a new game, and Troy Baker would be.
We're
really
making a
great.
new Last of Us. Anyone have his contact info?
we seem to have misplaced.
Nolan North, where are you? We want to make another Uncharted.
If anyone knows where Nolan North is,
They happen to have a YouTube show together, actually, where they play video games.
we know
Troy Baker and Nolan North.
from where that YouTube show is broadcast. We can track them down.
We can track them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a basement set.
So you know what? Let's put our voices out there too. If anyone knows where Apollo Smile is, please contact the authorities.
And the
Don't
PlayStation
contact
blog.
the authorities. Just the PlayStation blog.
Yeah.
I kind of
Anyway.
consider them to be the authorities.
Can we get to this Wall Street Journal article now?
Yeah, I love talking about the Wall Street Journal.
Because they're saying that Nintendo has 2 new models of Switch hardware coming in 2019. Of course, I think this report, actually, the same report happened in fall of 2018 that they were doing this. So it's basically the same report, only now specifying 2 models, and we're going to apparently get one sort of high spec version that still won't have specs comparable to the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or any of that, but it'll be higher spec than the existing Switch, and then one model that it's going to be lower cost and sort of no specifications on what that means, whether that means what people think with the non-detachable Joy-Cons or what. So I guess it's still a rumor, but I would certainly purchase a higher spec Switch. You know it.
It's weird. I wouldn't expect you to buy a new piece
Yeah.
of Nintendo
I know,
hardware.
right? I know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
How many Game Boys do you have?
Let's not
And
talk about
DSs?
it.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it. it's up there, but I only have 2 Switches.
Oh well.
Of course, they haven't made a new model since launch, but
Yeah.
anyway, would you guys be interested in either a higher spec version or a cheaper model for the kids?
No.
No,
I'd probably buy a new Switch.
you'd buy a new Switch. Which one are you more interested in?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to see. Maybe
Okay.
both.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
guess-
know.
I don't know.
Maybe
A-
both. Wow.
A lower spec version for the kids, I might consider if it was cheap enough.
Right.
You know.
And the idea, of course, being that Nintendo's 3DS market is pretty well dried up, and they are looking for a replacement
Yeah.
in that same area. So,
Yeah.
could be interesting. All right, let's get to the Sega stuff here.
Oh,
So-
Sega had an announcement this week?
Sega had an announcement. Yes. We knew they were doing a Mega Drive / Genesis Mini.
Yes.
but they announced the date. It's coming September 19th. Sorry, September 19th.
September 2019.
So,
The year
September
2019.
2019.
Year 2019.
Yeah, I was loading the page. Yeah. I knew it was in September. I knew that.
Did it load up a 2 first and then
No,
and
I
then
knew that it.
1?
I knew that it came out in September.
Okay.
He was
So anyway,
CJ's on a 28.8.
yes. And it's going to have 40
games.
games,
Yep.
which is pretty great. And so Japan is getting a version that comes with the 6-button controller.
Yeah, this is weird.
And the US is getting a version, the version we're getting, only one with 2 3-button controllers.
That equals 6.
That is true.
I guess you're right.
And the math checks out. So
So we know some of the games.
Japanese one's going to have Street Fighter 2 and the US one won't.
That seems like that's where we're going.
That's right.
Wow. So the Japanese version includes Sonic 2, Puyo Puyo 2, Shining Force, Castlevania Bloodlines, Powerball, Gunstar Heroes, Comic Zone, Rent-A-Hero, Space Harrier 2, and Mado Monogatari Ichi. Everybody loves Mado Monogatari Ichi.
What is that game?
I have no idea.
And
And
panorama cotton in there, but
the US version, the titles that are announced so far, we have Altered Beast, Castlevania Bloodlines, Comic Zone, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Gunstar Heroes, Shining Force, Sonic the Hedgehog, Space Harrier 2, and Toe Jam and Earl.
All right.
not a super exciting lineup, although Castlevania Bloodlines is big.
What are you talking about? This is a great lineup.
This is the
This is
lineup
a pretty
that has
great
lot of other
lineup
things.
as the first 10.
The first
titles that
10,
they've
yeah.
announced.
Yeah.
And then they're having 40, so
Yeah.
this is only 25% of the lineup.
Some quick math there.
I know, right?
So there was something I
Great,
saw
great.
on Twitter earlier. I think it was Chris Kohler who tweeted it, saying that
Yeah.
they announced that they originally were only going to have 30 games on this
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
but couldn't settle on just 30, so they just boosted the number to 40.
I like
Yeah.
it.
It's the way to do
Yes,
it.
That is the way to do it. And of course, M2
Yes.
is
Yes.
responsible for the emulation in this, which means it's going to be really good.
Top notch.
So
That's
I'm
the
pleased
best
with
bit of
that.
news. Yeah,
That's the best bit.
because
Yeah.
I mean, the Genesis flashback has been around forever.
Ugh, that
Yeah.
So
garbage
if you're just
is
looking for a mini console, you can get that, but it sucks.
yeah.
Mhm.
So parting ways with that games and partnering with M2 on this, that's
Yeah.
the thing that makes me the happiest, because it's like, realizing that,
They're taking it seriously.
yeah, well, that's just it. When you look at how Sony handled the PlayStation Classic,
Yeah.
it's like, it was kind of like that. Well, all that matters is that it exists,
Yeah.
Right.
not that it's any good,
It's just-
So clearly Sega's taking it a little more seriously, which is nice.
Yeah.
That
Make
being
it
said, I don't know if I would buy one, but
So this does have a save anywhere function.
Wait.
And
Greg,
the Genesis Mini, by the way, is already up for pre-order on a couple of websites, and it's going to be $79.99 MSRP in the US.
Greg, are you actually saying that you might not buy a Genesis Classic?
have you looked behind me?
Yes, I have.
You seeing all
That's why
that?
That's why I'm saying you're not going to buy one.
To be fair, I could see where you get the impression that because of all those Genesis consoles behind me,
With your blue
I would buy
lighted
one.
display
Yeah.
cabinet. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Come on.
There's a Sega logo on the top too.
Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
know. Believe me, I know.
But I don't need a Genesis Mini. They can't put it. Well, I shouldn't say they can't. They probably won't put anything on this thing that I don't already have.
Well, here's the other thing. So they announced at least the Japanese version will include the international versions of these games,
I know, right?
or at least Castlevania Bloodlines. So if that is a thing in the US version too,
Yeah, right.
does that sweeten the deal for you, Greg?
No, but I'm
No?
like,
Man, you're gonna buy one of these. Don't
I'll buy
You
one.
are definitely buying one of these.
This is whatever.
no,
whatever-
listen. It goes back to what I've been saying too, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I don't know whether I buy one because $100. It'll be $100 here.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it'll be over $100 after tax here. So that's an issue. But I'm saying that I have all this stuff already, but I am super happy that they're releasing it and they're doing it right.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that the other 30 games they announce are good choices.
I'm
and
sure they
aren't
will
just
be.
the standard
Oh,
things you get in the Genesis collection. I want them to do a few deep cuts too.
Like what are some deep cuts that you want?
Like, I mean, off the top of my head, like I'd love to see them include something like an Alicia Dragoon, or
Okay. Alien Syndrome.
some Alien Syndrome wasn't on the.
Oh, you're right.
That wasn't on the Genesis.
What was
You
the
thinking
alien? What was
Alien
the Alien
Storm is what
Swarm?
you're thinking of.
There you go.
Yeah, or like
Sorry.
a Mystic Defender.
Alien
would be a good one.
Soldier.
What about a
Alien
Thunder Force
Soldier.
game?
Well, I was going to say they own the
Thunder Force.
Technosoft library.
Yeah.
So
What
let's
about
get that
Wonder
in there.
Dog?
Wonder Dog Sega CD, man.
I know. Just kidding.
Come on.
Chuck Rock. Chuck Rock. How do you feel about Chuck Rock?
Oh God.
If you're gonna have Chuck Rock, at least have the Sega CD version of that as well.
How do you
Just for
feel
that
about
great
High
intro.
Seas Havoc?
Oh no, it's Gary Griffith, the local weirdo, hiding in them there bushes.
Bubba and Sticks. How do you feel about Bubba
That's
and
pretty
Sticks?
good.
You like that one?
That's pretty good. Yeah.
No, it's Gary
Or like
Griffith.
say, get EA on board and get some Road Rash on there.
Road Rash. That would be good.
Just
Somebody
saying.
good.
Just saying. I hope they do some stuff that's not necessarily
Somebody say
you get in this Genesis
So-
collection.
You're saying Genesis Aladdin,
Yes, that'll never
man.
happen. But
Castle of Illusion,
Maybe they could get the SNES Aladdin
great
on
to
there.
get Castle Evolution.
the SNES version of Aladdin. Also,
Man,
Anyway,
complete.
how great would it be though to get those Disney? I mean, they won't.
they won't
see
do
my-
it.
You
but
see
it'll
my
be great.
point. You
Quack
see my
Shot?
point.
Man, come
Quack
on,
shot.
Quack
Oh
Shot.
baby,
Oh,
that's
so
so much
good.
fun.
so good.
so good.
Because again, it feels like as we've gotten further and further from the 90s,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking the internet, people don't remember the Genesis as much as they do the Super Nintendo. So there's a lot of people
Sure.
who have not even been introduced to the games on that system, which kind of sucks because there's some really good stuff on there.
Yeah.
And I just hope that, I'm glad to hear that they're doing it right, and I hope that it helps introduce some people to a library that they may not be that
Totally.
familiar with.
Yeah.
So if they just
Speaking-
do it, if they just release it with a bunch of the games that they've been releasing over and over and over again on the compilations,
Yeah.
it's not as exciting.
Hopefully, since we're
Yeah.
getting Castlevania, hopefully we get Contra.
Contra,
Hardcore.
yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be good.
I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like they've woken up and remembered that Contra as a thing exists.
Yeah.
So
For
Yeah.
now. We also got some announcements of some Sega Ages games coming to Switch. So 6 more titles,
Oh, yeah?
including Shinobi, Wonder
first
Boy,
Shinobi?
and yeah, the first Shinobi.
Okay.
Wonder Boy in Monsterland,
Nice.
Fantasy Zone,
ooh.
Herzog Zwei,
Oh, that's great. That was one of the ones I was going to mention should be on the classic.
Oh yeah.
yeah, G-Lock Air Battle,
Oh, jeez.
and a game
interesting.
called Puzzle and Action in Cheatant R, which I have no idea.
I've heard that
That
name
is.
before. I've never played it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was an arcade game, right? Why am I asking
You're
you?
asking the wrong people.
Yes,
I
it
want to
was.
say that was on a compilation. Was it maybe that Dreamcast compilation?
Was it really? That I don't know.
Possibly.
It was certainly an arcade game, but I
Yeah.
do not remember if it was on a compilation or not.
And
Gotta
during
look it
this
up
Sega Fez thing, they also announced that there's a new Sakura Wars title in production that's going to be coming to the West from
Oh.
Sega
Oh,
in spring of 2020.
wow.
So PlayStation 4, spring of 2020.
That's cool.
Yes.
So I thought it was kind of funny this week because speaking of the Sega Ages games, Gain Ground
Yes.
came out, which
Yeah.
people love. I've not really played Gain Ground that much, but
I've
a lot
never
of
played
people
Game
love
Ground.
that game.
What do you do in it?
She Gain Ground,
Try Game Ground.
Game Ground.
and Alex Kidd in Miracle World.
Yep.
And what was
All
really
right.
funny is that the official Sega Twitter accounts in North America and in Europe talked about how much fun. Or do you remember how much fun Alex Kidd on the Genesis was? Miracle World wasn't on the Genesis.
Not the Genesis one.
no.
Oops.
That is not Enchanted Castle.
Oops.
Yeah.
But hey, they're out.
Indeed.
Yep.
All right. I think we should move into what you've been playing.
Yeah, considering we've been gabbing for an hour.
We have only
Jeez,
on the news.
That tweet is still up, by the way.
Oh, is it really? They didn't fix it.
Throwback Thursday to the 80s when we were spending many hours with Alex Kidd on the Genesis and gained ground at the arcade. And yeah, Alex Kidd, yeah, they show the not, nope, the decidedly not Genesis Alex Kidd
I
game.
guess if you bought a power base converter.
There you go.
It's weird too, because Gain Ground was on the Genesis.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was an arcade game first. And,
I
think this
so
version
was-
is based on the arcade game.
Wasn't Alex Kidd in Miracle World an arcade game originally?
No.
Was it not?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
On podcast research, this is always
Let's do it.
exciting.
Bonus content. Anyway, so I guess I'll go into what I've been playing this week while Phil looks it up.
Lost Stars was an arcade game.
Yeah, Lost Stars. That was the arcade one.
Okay.
It was tough.
So I've been
Yeah.
playing some more Farm Together with Charlotte.
Oh.
And of course, this is a very laid back farming game. And I'm kind of amazed at how big some of you can visit all sorts of people's farms. I'm kind of amazed at how large some of these farms are. But that's kind of the whole drive of the game is up to 8 people online can help you with your farm. And it gets pretty insane in the further on you go, where it needs like 50 plus crops of a particular thing and whatnot. So we've been playing. Occasionally new people will drop into our game and help water our crops and harvest some things. And it's just a fun, like laid back, nothing ever spoils in the game. And you don't have to water everything. So like it'll bring up the watering can icon, but you don't have to do it. It just cuts a little bit of time off the growth time. It's just a fun little game. And it's they're running in-game events, and they do like different in-game microtransaction cosmetic items as well. But they seem to be supporting it a lot. Unfortunately, it's not cross-platform, cross-save or anything like that. But we're playing it on Switch together and having a blast.
Cool.
It's a fun little game. And I also loaded up Operencia: The Stolen Sun, which came out on Friday last week. And it's a Game Pass game. And since it is an Xbox Play Anywhere title, I was able to install it on the PC.
Oh, look at that.
And play that. Yeah, so I'm not really a dungeon crawling RPG person. Let's just get that out of the way. But I played the intro and a little bit after you create your character in Operencia, which honestly is not that far. Yeah.
If this is not a type of game you would normally play, what made you so interested in this one?
Well, because friend of the show, Chris Baker, did the writing in this particular game.
Outstanding.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, he works at Zen Studios, and they are the publisher of this game, and he did the writing, and it is quite good, I will say.
Well written.
Yes, it is well written and well acted. I found the voice acting to be charming.
Oh, very nice.
A charming throwback, sort of. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's sort of like a grid-based dungeon crawling game, and obviously I'm at the very beginning of the game. But the whole turn-based battle thing, it seems to be my speed of RPG.
Yeah, that was definitely. I mentioned this when I played it last week. That's one of the things I love about it. Is it very much feels like a throwback in a lot of ways, but in good ways. Where everything's just kind of really easy to understand, and you don't have a ton of different systems to keep track of.
Yep,
I very
appreciate that.
And I appreciate that too.
I definitely appreciate that. The dialogue. So you see sort of kind of stills of the characters as they talk, but in battles, the monsters and the environments that you walk through actually look very impressive. I was really pleased with how good it looks.
Have you gone into the underwater castle?
Yes, I went into the underwater castle.
Love the look of that level.
Was very impressed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you have Game Pass, check it. You can check it out for free, basically. Download it and try it out.
I got to download that game.
You definitely
Yeah,
do.
you definitely got to try it out.
Or it's also available on the Epic Games Store. So it's Xbox One, it's a Game Pass game, and Epic Games Store on PC.
Is it an Epic exclusive?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
It is.
And that's all I've been playing. So, Greg,
Oh, me?
what do you got?
I'm going to close some tabs here. So I'm playing a lot more.
We've seen
Motorsport
how many
Manager.
tabs you have.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Phil's doing the single parent thing.
Babysitter, yeah.
No, CJ, it's not babysitting when it's your kid.
Okay, fine. Single dad.
There you go.
Single
Single
parent
dad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So playing a lot more Motorsport Manager. One thing I was kind of excited to see this week is that Grand Prix Story was released.
Oh, is
on
that
the Switch.
is that the Kairosoft game?
That is the Kairosoft game.
All right. I love their mobile games.
Yes, me too. I adored Grand Prix Story when it was on my iPhone years ago. God, that's quite a while ago now.
Yeah.
So the Kairosoft story games, they're little management simulators, and in this one, of course, you're managing a race team. But it's all done with like these very cutesy pixel graphics that they were known for.
Probably
it's
the
just
best
really
known
charming.
one is Game Dev Story.
Game Dev Story, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, this was the one that I spent all my time on. So it's $15.
Yeah.
Which seems high.
Okay.
For this game. And it actually kept me from buying it. But mostly because I think I bought it for like $3 like 7 years ago.
Well, it was a different time on the App Store.
Yeah.
Sure.
But there's a demo. There is a demo.
Okay.
So you can play like the first couple weeks of the game in the demo. And when I say weeks, that's fast. That's
Sure.
like, 5 minutes. And I still really like it. But they really didn't do much with the interface. Everything is done by using the shoulder buttons to bring up menus, and then some things are done just by pressing the A button when there's no menu on screen, and that brings up other menus. So it's not at all intuitive for a controller. Now I think it supports touchscring. So
I would not be surprised.
It probably feels more intuitive. It feels just like the old game. So, but it's funny because I was talking about Motorsport Manager a couple weeks ago and saying that one of the things that I really like about it is the interface feels intuitive for a controller. It doesn't feel like it was built for a controller because it wasn't. It was built for a touchscreen as well.
Yep.
But it's not difficult to navigate using a controller. And they went in, and what they did do is they added a bunch of button-based shortcuts.
Yeah,
in Motorsport Manager. So like if a little during a race, let's say you have your two drivers on the screen, and if it's very clear because beside their name, like the up arrows beside one and the down arrows beside the other, so you know that if you just press up or down on the D-pad, you'll focus on one of those two drivers, and then all the options that are in there have buttons associated with them. So it's like if you press the A button, you can change the fuel mix. If you press the X button, you can change whether they're conserving tires, that sort of thing. And if they have a message they want to send, because there's no voice acting in the game, a little tab will appear next to their name that if you want to tap that, it'll pop out. But also if you just push, it shows that if you just push left on the D-pad or the directional cluster buttons, it'll pop out. So like they did a little bit of work,
right,
to make it accessible with a controller.
Well, if I remember the Kairosoft games, even though they were iPhone games, I believe they were originally like flip phone games in Japan. And when they came out on iPhone,
whether there are two menus on the bottom right and bottom left of the screen.
Yeah, when those games started coming out on iPhone, the early ones anyway, the interface, the buttons were like really small for a touch screen.
Yes, I do remember that.
Like,
right.
So yeah, this is not the first time they've sort of wrestled with that.
So I think that's the key thing to me is that graphics aside, because the graphics are stylistic choice, they still look good, but the game feels old. It feels really old based on the interface. So, which is a little bit disappointing, but I mean, it's still really cute. And if it's something you're interested in, and I think for me too, it's so weird that these two games came out so close to one another. I think Motorsport Manager is only $20.
Yeah.
So for $5 more, you're getting a much more robust game.
Yeah.
Not to say that Grand Prix Story is bad. It's just,
Sure.
it feels old and it feels overpriced right now.
Yeah.
So I kind of took a step back on that. But, if it ever does go on sale for like $5, I'll probably get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So keeping with the Switch, I also played more Golf Story this week, which I haven't played in a few weeks. Man, that game is so good. And I know that it's old. I know it's like over a year old, and I'm sure a lot of people already experienced it. But if you haven't experienced it, I highly recommend that game. It's just so much fun. It's so clever. They managed to make, somebody on my Twitch stream put it best when they said they basically took Mario Golf for Game Boy Color, which was an RPG. It's one of my favorite Game Boy Color games, actually, and expanded on it in really fun and intelligent ways, and just made the whole thing extremely charming. And I played another couple hours of that this week, and man, I just love that game. I'm so glad that I finally started playing it. But now I kind of don't want to keep playing it outside of the stream because people have been watching now. So, but anyway, really enjoyed that. And then I jumped into VR again this week because I decided I want to try to finish Moss, which I'm not really going to talk about too much right now because we've talked about it on the show a few times. But what I did do is the Wipeout Omega collection was on sale, I don't know, last month or something. I picked it up a while ago because when it was finally on sale, I was like, yes, I love Wipeout. And of course, that includes Wipeout VR, which I always talk about vomit-inducing. Like, I can't imagine, I've always said, like, I can't imagine playing Wipeout in VR. That seems like a terrible idea. Because, of course, you're not attached to the track in any way. Right. If you get hit, you shake around a lot. There's a lot of undulation in the courses. But and somebody told me, it might have been you, Phil. Somebody told me that actually this is really, it's really well made for VR. So I decided to try it. Yeah, I think you were the one. So I decided to try it out. And I mean, it's got a bunch of really good, really nice options. And two things that it does that are perfect is that it will give you a level to the track camera. So even if your ship is twisting, your view stays level, right? No matter what. And the other thing that it does is it narrows your field of view, which, if you remember, is pretty much exactly what they did in Resident Evil 7. And the way it does that is like you're still sitting in the cockpit of the ship. Although one thing I did notice is that you can see your hands, and I don't think they move based on your controls. But why you would look down at your hands while you're driving, I have no idea. But I just noticed that it didn't do that. But anyway, you're sitting in your...
man.
Pardon me?
Make sure they're at 10 and 2.
It's true. But you're sitting in your ship at on the starting grid, and like you're in an open, or not an open cockpit, but a wide area view, so you can look left or right, and you can see like what's to the side and everything like that. But just before the race starts, they all do it in game, where these metal slats slide out and narrow your view to a smaller window, and it completely fixes the problem. Like, I can't play Gran Turismo in VR because it makes me feel nauseous. I played this for like 45 minutes and didn't feel even lightheaded once.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's really, really well done. So I was very happy with that. But yeah, like I said, otherwise I played a bunch of Moss, but I'm not going to talk about that much more right now because we've talked about that game before, and we all know that that's brilliant. So
indeed.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Phil.
Yeah?
What do you got for us?
I just picked up the new Sega Ages.
Yeah.
Classic,
the classic Genesis game.
Alex Kidd in Miracle World. And a game that I believe was an old Saturn game, Game Ground. I thought it was
for Game Gear.
They might have done
Game
a port.
Gear, Game Ground.
Say that 10 times.
GG.
Yes. They call it the G4. It's what the network was named after.
I guess so.
I've never really clicked with Game Ground.
No.
Yeah, I
don't know if I've ever played it.
Really,
I've never played it.
Played it a little bit. I never played the original arcade version. I played it a little bit on the Genesis back in the day. I think I've tried it when it's been on other collections. I can't really get into it.
It's kind of it's a screen by screen. You have to work your way up from the bottom of the screen, right? Like it's different groups of enemies that you need to, and I think it's multiplayer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I've not played it multiplayer, so I cannot attest. But
is it like not necessarily turn based, but it's like grid based or something, isn't it? Like, don't you?
Absolutely not grid based.
Okay, what is it? It's not free movement.
It is absolutely free movement.
I'm thinking something else then. So everything I'm saying it's not. The next thing I say it's not, it is.
You might be thinking Military Madness.
No, I'm not. But
TurboGrafx game that was.
I thought there was some kind of mechanic to it that made it that it wasn't just sort of a run up the screen shooter.
Well, what it is you start at the bottom of the screen, and you are trying to reach an area of the screen that has been designated as the exit. And sometimes it's at the very top of the screen. Sometimes it's like in the middle of the screen, but there are like walls and obstacles that you have to kind of work your way around while enemies are coming in from all directions. You may have enemies up on hills that are shooting down at you. So it's just, it's you trying to figure out a way to reach the exit while enduring this gauntlet of enemies. There are different characters you can play as that have different.
There's like 7 different characters. Or something?
Yeah, they're like different classes, and they have different weapons and attacks and stuff. And like if one of them is, if you play as one of the characters and you get killed, when your next life starts up, you pick one of your remaining classes of characters. The character you just were playing as, the dead character, is still on the screen, and you can go rescue them, and they will follow you to the exit. So,
right. Yes. Okay. I remember that part. Okay.
So, and it's it's a perfectly fine game, and
it's a well-loved game.
Yeah, people really enjoy it. But maybe just because I don't have the nostalgia for it from playing it in the arcade back in the day, it just never really clicked with me. So it's it's good, but I probably won't put too much time into it.
I got to be honest. Like I'm not every Sega Ages game that comes out I'm interested in. Like Alex Kidd in Miracle World would be a perfect example. I've played that multiple times. I've never been an Alex Kidd fan.
Yeah,
I've played Miracle World multiple times, and I've never really enjoyed it all that much.
That game never clicked with me.
Me either. Never. Although I will say that doing Generation 16, when I got to Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, I ended up beating that game. And I didn't hate it. It wasn't amazing.
Miracle World or Enchanted Castle? Okay, yeah.
So, I feel like maybe having done that, if I go back to Miracle World, I don't know, maybe something will click. But either way, what I was going to say is those M2 ports are so good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always just like, I kind of want to have this because I know it'll be good. Yeah.
This kind of definitive version of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, which is kind of why I bought both of those.
Right.
Because, I mean, like you guys, I'm not super into Alex Kidd other than kind of the novelty of this weird forgotten Sega mascot. But it's fine. It's a simple little platformer.
Okay.
Whatever,
Going back to what CJ said earlier, the rundown of the Mega Drive Classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, wouldn't it be great if one of these was going to be like a translation of Rent-A-Hero? I'd love for them to translate Rent-A-Hero and bring it out here.
For sure.
That would be amazing if they finally did that.
Yep.
Yeah, we were going to get that game on, what was it,
Xbox.
Original Xbox?
Yep.
And I might have a build, actually, of that.
I mean, it did come
They
out.
sent
Did
it
it
out.
not? It came out.
It didn't come out.
The Japanese version didn't come out?
Japanese version came out. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
No English version.
No,
Yeah,
the
I
English
had-
one never came out.
I believe I
played a bunch of the English one.
Yeah, I believe I have a final or very near final build of the Xbox Rent-A-Hero.
Yeah, I
Really?
think I do as well.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Get one of you guys to send that to me, and I'll play it on my stream sometime.
You have an Xbox debug?
Yep.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
really?
okay. Then yes.
That is still functioning?
Actually, no, it's having some issues.
Oh, okay.
But
well,
actually,
it
it was
then.
one of the things that happened recently that I love is that there's a local company that, a guy who's starting a company locally that is repairing old systems.
Nice.
And I've
Even
already
debug?
had my well, I'm sure he would take a look at it. I've already had my CDX in there, and he fixed that for me.
Oh,
And now
nice.
he's got my beloved Model 1 Sega CD, which is why if you look
Oh.
behind me, you'll notice that it's not
Oh.
in the case. So that was rough. That was like handing over my firstborn for a week.
Yeah. My original one doesn't work as well.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I hope it works when it comes out.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm going to try to give him my Xbox debug and see if he can get it running again.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, if he does, then I'll send you my Rent a Hero.
There you go.
I'll rent you my Rent a Hero.
Aw.
All right. Should we get into tweets?
Tweet, tweet.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker alias Zelda 2 AOL, who says, "What do you think the chances are we get a Breath of the Wild or Odyssey sequel on the Switch before the system is retired? Additionally, what are you hoping for / expecting in a potential sequel for those games?"
I'm curious to see because it seems like the trend now is for the game generations to last longer.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look
We're
at
2 years into the Switch.
right, I mean, if you look at the Wii, we had 2 Zeldas on the Wii.
Yeah.
Wii U, we didn't though, did we?
No.
So
we did not.
yeah, but the
Unless
Wii
you're
U
gonna,
was
unless you're going to count remasters.
nah. And
Yeah.
the Wii U was, but the Wii U was also kind of a disaster. So I don't know. I don't think it's unreasonable to think we might have a sequel to Breath of the Wild on the Switch.
I think we definitely will, especially after Monolith Soft posted a job listing for people to work on the next Legend of Zelda game. So Monolith Soft did some work on Breath of the Wild, and if they're posting jobs for people to work on the next Zelda game, well, I definitely think that's going to be on the Switch, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm wondering what that sequel entails. Like if it'll be exactly like
I
Breath
hope
of
it's
the
not another
Wild,
big
or
open world thing.
will it be? Will it have discrete dungeons like so many people want?
I hope
And
so.
will it have destructible weapons? Like what sort of feedback from Breath of the Wild will they address, if any?
If they could get rid of those destructible weapons.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I know people didn't like that. I had no problem with it.
I would
But
be very okay with the lack of destructible weapons.
yeah, I'd be fine if they got rid of it, but I didn't mind it. Odyssey. Yeah, do we think the next one will be an Odyssey sequel, or will it be something completely different? Or
Yeah, I know.
Nintendo take a break from Mario for a little while now that we've got Mario Maker 2 coming out.
I think it's interesting what Nintendo's done with the Mario games now because it seems like we splintered into like 3 different sort of main series.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So yeah, hard to say if they'll go the route of an Odyssey sequel or not, but I mean, I'd be okay with it.
Sure.
It was a great game.
Odyssey was a great game.
Yes,
absolutely. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker alias Mark's Remark, who says, "What are some gaming moments / traditions that future generations won't believe we did? I would think hauling CRTs and Xboxes to a friend's house just to play multiplayer Halo would blow people's minds."
I'd never done that.
So how about online gaming with the Dreamcast modem and then getting like a call waiting and then like the little click or whatever and not being sure whether the game is disconnected or not. Like disruptions in your online games because somebody called you.
How about this?
It's a good one.
Get up off of your couch, go to a shelf and find a disc and put it in a machine in order to play a game.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
So,
But I mean, there's still the standard blowing on the cartridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, or being tethered to the console with a cord.
Ah, yep.
Yeah,
None,
yeah,
of- none of my
cord.
kids have ever experienced that.
it's true.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. They have, only because I'm an old man with a bunch of old consoles around. But, you know, kids my
Right.
age haven't normally. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up with this one from Hacker Alias Happy Canard, who says, in light of Greg's moaning about RPG lengths, if you
Oh.
could pause time and cram as many hours as you want into whatever game you want without worrying about how long it takes to play or pesky interruptions like starving children, what would be at the top of your list?
Now wait a second. In this scenario, do we continue to age?
That's a good question. It says pause time, so I imagine no, you're not aging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I can think of recently, I'd love to be able to have the time to go back and just finish playing through Witcher 3.
no.
Uh-huh.
It was a great game that I just will never finish.
Yeah. I would go for any of the Dragon Quest games. So,
Yeah.
Obviously those are 100+ hour RPGs, and I have not finished a one, but I have enjoyed playing them. I would probably go with that.
If modern television technology, if time is stopped, images still display on the TV?
Yes.
Would
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
would
they
they? Would the electrons be able to travel? Because I mean,
This is the worst bit ever.
but
This
it's
is
not a
really-
bit, It's just I'm
This is
trying.
like saying your Desert Island Games. How does the island get power?
That's just it. How do you have a?
I
generator?
will say that
Do online games count?
I put like 6 or 7 hours into the Phantasy Star Sega Ages version.
Yeah.
I am totally fine with experiencing RPGs that way.
Yeah.
Like I've got it set. I
Yeah.
mean, I've got the walk speed set to normal. You can speed that up too, but it's set to what, like triple experience or something, and triple money or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't break the game. It hasn't broken the game.
Yeah.
And it's just very enjoyable
Yeah.
because it totally, for somebody, who can't spend tons and tons of hours on things, I'm getting to play a game that I've always wanted to play. I'm getting to experience a game I've always wanted to play, and up until this point knew that I never would, because I was never going to make the time to grind
Right.
in that game. It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really hoping that they actually do the same thing with Phantasy Star 2, because I really want to play Phantasy Star 2 again. But I tried that a few years back. Well, I did it when I was doing it for Generation 16, and my God, that was soul crushing. It's like I've been playing this for 4 hours and I haven't done anything. So
I would just play through the 2 Lunar games again.
Oh, I want those to come back.
That would be another nice series to see again.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like talking about the whole speed up thing, there's been like a bit of a flare up on Twitter about accessibility in some games like Dark Souls and Sekiro being like overly
talked about this.
difficult game, and how, wouldn't it be nice if they added difficulty toggles to that stuff? And I mean, I think this is the same sort of thing. Like, it would be fantastic if those games were more accessible to more people. I totally understand that there is a market that enjoys how hard those games are. And it's like, fine, play that on a higher difficulty, but it would be awful nice if I could experience that game without being punished for it.
Yep. I mean, it's accepting that certain people are looking for different things.
Sure. Absolutely.
And they have to question, like, does the fact that I can set, say, Sekiro to a low difficulty level ruin the game for you?
No, it doesn't. There are people who play Halo games on higher difficulties that love the AI in that game, but I play it on the lower difficulty because I don't mind them just single file lining up to be
shot.
Destroyed. I don't mind that. And it's sort of, people looking for different things. And adding these speed ups to classic RPGs, and Square has done that on a couple of their Final Fantasy games. I think it's great. And
Nintendo's
I think
been
you have
doing it
to.
to their games for a long time. They've been ahead of the curve on this for a while now.
Nintendo, with the P-wing block
Yes.
that comes up in Mario after you've died a certain number of times in the same level. I think
Mhm.
that stuff is great.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to do it,
Yep.
but hey, we see you're having a bit of trouble. Here you go. I like it. I like that. Anyway, I think that's where we should end the show.
All right.
So before you go into the outro, of course, I
Mhm.
want to call out that this week, like I do every other week, I will be, and by that I mean every second week, I'll be streaming Franchise Hockey Manager 5 on Saturday night at 9 p.m. I think it's 9 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Over at Twitch TV/OOTP Developments. Our good friend Rich Grisham.
Yep.
That's the company he works for. That's one of the games that they make. It's awesome NHL management simulator. And yeah, please come check it out. Twitch TV/OOTP Developments.
Cool. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You will find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
And right, you will.
Yes, and you'll also find Generation 16 episodes.
How'd you like that latest episode, CJ?
Loved it. Learned so much about Wonder Boy. I don't even know where to begin.
Don't even know where to begin.
I don't even know where to begin untangling that web that you made so clear in that video.
Oh boy,
it is a tangled web.
That's what I'm saying. And you'll also find show notes and links to the things that we talked about on the show, including things like the trailer for Lucas.
Oh, there it is. The important stuff.
The important stuff, of course. And you'll find links to things like our Discord server, where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast application. You can also head over to the App Store on your Apples. Find the Player One Podcast iPhone application, which gives you one touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your device. Also, that same $1.99.
So cheap.
Yeah, it's right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out archives of our show or watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. Follow our Twitter account at P1 Podcast to find out when we will be broadcasting our next live show. It's usually on Sundays, but clearly
This
not
week
today.
is on Saturdays
We
because
mix it up.
leaving for the beach.
Is that where you're going? You're going to the beach?
Yeah,
What beach?
I'm not going to tell you.
You think I'm gonna...
It's in Florida.
Oh, you're going to Florida? Yeah, that's right.
I'm
You're
going
going
to
to Florida. You're going to Florida. That's right.
I'm in Florida.
So, hey, stalkers. If you want to find CJ, he'll be in Florida.
I'll be in Florida.
How many beaches can there be in Florida?
Yeah, I mean,
How many? I mean,
good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do all that. What else do I usually? Oh, hey, if you like what you've heard,
and how could you?
Head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ's got to rent some lockers on the beach.
That's right.
To store his street clothes in.
Gotta put my Switch somewhere.
You don't want to get sand in your Switch.
That's right. That'd be bad.
Last thing you need is a sandy Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, remember?
Stan gets into everything.
Do you guys remember that one year at E3 when we went to the Spearmint Rhino and there was that stripper Sandy Joy-Con? Oh my goodness,
You promised you weren't going to talk about that on the show.
You know what? But it popped up naturally. And
what
and
popped up
then we
next?
started discussing it on the show
Yeah,
too.
Oh, wow.
You. Ah.
Wow.
Hey, if you're a Patreon subscriber at the $5 or higher tier, you will gain access to a special after show where we play games, we crack wise, we have fun. Join us, won't you?
Yeah.
Your Patreon dollars help keep the lights on here at the P1 podcast. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding. And I watched the last episode, so I know about outstanding and how this show is it. Web series about North America's favorite second banana, Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil. Although I have one thing to add.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Generation16.com does not seem to be working.
Oh, well, never mind.
I paid my bills,
Never
but for
mind.
some reason it's not working. And the
I'll be right out, buddy.
folks that I bought the URL from have not been helpful. So, hey, go to patreon.com/generation16.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you know what? Just mail them a check. Mail them
That
a
works
check.
too.
Preferably
That's fine.
U.S. funds.
U.S. funds. Worth more. There you go. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Of course. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
And of course, special thanks to all of our lovely listeners out there.
Yes, indeed.
You are wonderful, and we love each and every one of you equally. So there you go. There you go. Now, you know what? I don't even have a joke for the end of that because I am being sincere
Aww.
with my love for all of our good internet podcasting friends.
Indeed.
So there you go.
Indeed.
Next week,
Let's do it.
Why not?
toodaloo.
Later.
Bye-bye.